2007, what a year it promises to be for Australian boxing and Australian boxers. What a way to kick it off. Up the road, the Australian Open is entering week number 2, and this sports-mad city has also embraced our first in-ring event of the year. I'm Andy Raymond. Wherever you may be watching, welcome to Melbourne for this very special presentation. The road to gold continues for Danny Green. That's his plan anyway. His opponent is a tough second-generation boxer from Geelong, Paul Murdoch. He has very different plans. A victory here tonight would ignite his career on a global scale. We've got 6 undercard bouts before our main event. Let's take a look at what's on the menu here tonight. We start at cruiserweight with 2 good young boxers. Anthony McCracken from New South Wales, undefeated in 4 fights. He's against Jason Tramsek, an established kickboxer down here in the southern capital. Second, it's junior middleweight with Robert Toomey, who has 2 from 2. He's up against Tyrone Tongia from Queensland. This should be a gem, and it's scheduled for 6. Next up, it's junior welterweight over 6 with Ben Burridge against Adam No BS Wills, a real entertainer, originally from the Central Coast of New South Wales, and Willsy is now fighting out of WA. Fight 4 sees Brad Milner and Matty Pauly go head-to-head. It's over 6, this international contest. The Kiwi has just the 2 fights, while Pauly has had a disappointing year, beaten several times, as well as suffering some horrific facial cuts. At junior middleweight, Chad Bennett returns to Melbourne and faces Thai Pakpum Janpanak, who has lost just once in 9 fights. He comes into the contest with pretty good form. Again, 6 is the distance. Our semi-main event sees local hero Daniel Porky Lovett against the durable but unpredictable Justin Clements, celebrating his 50th pro fight tonight. That's quite an achievement. We will see if he can take it to one of the young guns in Aussie boxing. Our main event is for the PABA Unification Interim Championship. Paul Murdoch with 33 fights, 26 wins and 16 KOs against Danny Green with just the 3 losses on his resume. That scheduled for 12. But will it go the distance? It is at light heavyweight tonight, and as I welcome in my co-commentator and respected boxing journalist Paul Upham, doesn't Danny Green look a lot more comfortable with a few extra kilos?
He's much better off with those 3 extra kilos, Andy, and I'm really looking at the old Danny Green tonight.
Yep.
The when he exploded on his scene, the fans remember the Danny Green 17 knockouts in his first 18 wins.
Yep.
We haven't seen that in recent times, and I think tonight against Paul Murdoch, we're going to see the best of Danny Green again.
Danny Green, when it comes to the heart of the argument, is a fighter. Yes, he's a well-credentialed and very technically sweet boxer, but he's a fighter.
He comes out and he throws punches, Andy. He likes to put a show on. He likes to take guys out. That's it. He's his best when he's throwing punches, powerful right-hand punches, that left hook. And I think we're going to see that tonight. I think he was killing himself to make that weight at suit middleweight. He's not a suit middleweight anymore. He's a light heavyweight, and we're going to see the best of him here tonight.
Chad Bennett and also Daniel Porky Lovett on the undercard, and it's great to see these 2 young superstars showcased on such a big card.
Well, Daniel Porky Lovett's been the main sparring partner for Danny Green, and to be Danny Green's sparring partner, you've got to be quality. We're looking for a big year for Porky Lovett tonight. He's going to show us where he's going to go onto the world scene. We're going to see a few more skills from him, and Chad Hollywood Bennett, always an exciting fighter, one I always like to see in the ring, gives a lot of action, and I think we're in for some good fights tonight.
Should be some excellent fights tonight. The boxing world, domestically anyway, has converged on Melbourne, and we headed to the Crown Casino yesterday. It was weigh-in time for these boys. Danny Green looks sensational. He's inked up yet again, but the Green machine looked good, made the weight comfortably. Paul Murdoch was just a smidgen overweight. It wasn't any great issue. He ducked off to the little boys' room, was back 2 minutes later and made the weight, and made it comfortably.
One thing about Paul Murdoch is he's a quality fighter, world-rated fighter, fought for the WBO world title last year against the undefeated German, Zolt Erdi. And look, he's going to come here tonight and really give his all against Danny Green, and this will not be an easy fight for either fighter. It's going to be a tough contest.
For you fight fans that have been around the game, domestically anyway, for a number of years, you'll remember a lot of Paul Murdoch's fights were televised early in his career. But for a long time, the wider audience, the wider sporting audience, has not seen Paul Murdoch. It's great to see him showcased.
I often say, Andy, that Paul Murdoch is the best fighter Australian fans haven't heard about. He did fight for the world title last year, wasn't televised into Australia, put on a great performance going 10 rounds of Erdi. And look, he's going to come here and really show how good he is, and I think people are going to be surprised.
There's been suggestions that the winner tonight will head on to greater things. That's no doubt the case. There's been suggestions for the loser, it's retirement time. Is that the case?
Well, it's world title eliminator in many ways, and we have to remember both guys are 33 years of age. They're not getting any younger. time is not on their side, and they've got to do something this year, particularly for Danny Green, who's got high expectations for a world title fight.
Certainly have. There's a very healthy respect amongst the two fighters. There's a friendship there as well. There's a huge incentive for both of these young men to get a victory here tonight.
Incentive for both of us that will most likely fight for hopefully against Branco in Italy, the winner. So both of us will be looking at that and that only.
I'm very happy with the preparation. It's all done. It's weighed in. Now it's ready just to chow down, rehydrate a little bit. Happy with the way that we made weight. Didn't have to struggle too hard as opposed to the old super middleweight limit. And just basically now focus, relax and concentrate on the job at hand tomorrow night.
What about going into a fight with Daniel? I mean, you guys are friends. How do you approach something like that?
It's a business. We're both professional athletes, and I'm sure we both respect each other. But it's a business, and we've got to do what we have to do. And there's no problem with that from either of us.
Just going into the friends thing, I don't think me and Paul are really that friends. You say we're friends, it's kind of you send friends Christmas cards and wish them happy birthday. We respect for each other as opponents, but I think the friends is pushing it.
Friends, eh? Paul Murdoch and Danny Green, they are ready to get it on and are our main event here at the Melbourne State Netball and Hockey Centre. We're expecting a crowd in excess of 3,000 people. Already the corporates are here in attendance. Some AFL stars, Fraser Gehrig, amongst the masses that turning up to see this quality 7-fight card. You heard Paul Murdoch mention the name Silvio Branco, a 40-year-old Italian who currently holds the WBA Light Heavyweight Championship. He is the goal of both these two young men as we wind back the clock to Danny Green's last fight. It was in Perth of 2006. His opponent was Jason Delisle. It's a 6-round TKO loss to Clinton Woods for the IBF World Light Heavyweight title. That was in the UK. Good to hear the news that Anthony, I believe Jason's just a little bit tense. With a nice two-punch combination up the top. And up went the defences of Delisle.
Looks so strong in those punches. He's got a nick.
Delisle's nick right in the middle of the forehead, in between the eyes, and it is gushing blood everywhere. Brilliant on the attack now, calling it on from Jason Delisle.
We're halfway through the round, and we'll let it go to the end of the round. Lead seat for this corner to go over the cyclone.
We'll try and stem the flow of blood from this cut to the forehead of Jason Delisle.
Great
Very
right hand by
awkward
Danny.
position, and Delisle again on the end of the green gloves of Danny Green. Big lump of Vaseline now in the middle of the head of Jason Delisle. That was knocked off from that left hand, straight left hand from Danny Green, who found room and found rhythm with an uppercut there. Good right hand from Green. On the back foot there, Danny Green. Jason Delisle still with a bit to offer, and Delisle was rocked there. A good right hand from Danny.
Beautiful time. That's one thing Danny can't do is pull back.
Nothing wrong with the left hand.
Lovely left crook by Danny Green.
You could hear that echo around the corridors of Challenge Stadium. That was crisp into the midsection.
Took it very well to line.
Something no doubt Salas and Danny himself will pick up on, and that's nice from Danny Green. A good two-punch combination. Starting to apply the pressure as Green. Really moving onto the front foot with Delisle. Hits him again. That's a battered face. He swings at Green. There's still some ammunition left in the guns of Jason Delisle. The same can be said for Danny Green. Green is on the front foot. You're right. Jason Delisle is hurt. The head gets rocked back repeatedly. Brad Vicali steps between the two.
His eyes swollen down.
Is this the beginning of the end? Jason Delisle struggling. How long can he survive? Don't hold him.
Can't see one eye. Blood pouring out the nose, the eye.
Visibility is a problem for Jason Delisle. It's over. The green machine. It's a well-oiled machine, and it's back. What a performance from Danny Green.
Yeah, what a performance from Danny Green it was, but how tough is and was Jason Delisle. He stood there and wanted to fight, was disappointed that our referee Brad Vicali did step in the middle. Paul Upham, Danny Green a class above on that night in Perth.
Danny Green, when he sets out to achieve something, he wants to be a light heavyweight now. He doesn't take any shortcuts. First of all, Jason Delisle, now Paul Murdoch, two of the toughest light heavyweights in this country, and Danny Green wants to make a statement here tonight against Paul Murdoch, and that first step against Jason Delisle was very important for him to come back after the loss to Anthony Mundine, and I think it showed that really he wasn't a super middleweight when he fought Mundine. He wasn't a super middleweight when he fought Marcus Bayer in the rematch. I don't think there was many people who could probably get Danny Green's frame down to super middleweight. He was punishing himself so hard in the gym, and really when it came fight time, he didn't have much left. And I think we saw against Jason Delisle, and what we are expecting here tonight is a much stronger Danny Green, and I think he's going to be back to his best.
Down the road at Festival Hall 40 years ago this week, a young man named Johnny Famignon fought tough Italian Giovanni Gaggenti. 2.5 years later, he fought the legendary Fighting Arada in Sydney to win the WBC featherweight title. So a week that long and proud in Aussie boxing history. The corporates already here at the State Netball and Hockey Centre.